Okay, I think this is going to be the last video in our texture drawing series. I wanted to share with you a couple more patterns and some more invented textures. But I also wanted to talk to you about art. Art is in the details. You begin by observing them and then experimenting with how to draw them. And then you bring your own style and interpretation to them. So a good place to start with your experimenting is some of the techniques that I am showing you. However, I want you to understand that this is my style of textures and drawing and representation, and yours may look different. It may look more like anime or manga. It may look more smooth. It may be choppier. It may have more forceful colors, and that is perfectly fine. Every teacher teaches texture drawing differently. They teach portrait drawing differently because we all have our own learning experiences of how we learned it and how we have understood over time on how to teach it, and then our own style for our own artwork. And I'm not telling you that you have to draw any of these invented textures. I'm just putting ideas out there into your head, and then you have to decide what to do with them and bring your own style and interpretation to them. So I wanted to remind everybody of that before we get started. So we looked at stippling, hatching, and cross-hatching so far. Invented textures are just that. They're lines that we have devised as artists to give the illusions that we want to create in our objects. The most common one is called scumbling. Scumbling is done with little loops. Now there's a difference between scribbling, okay, and scumbling. Scumbling is controlled. You overlap as many times as you need to portray the object that you're trying to portray. Okay, so scumbling can be done with loops, very tight loops, very loose loops. It just depends. Scumbling can be clouds, it can be trees, it can be any number of things. There's also a kind of a figure eight a lot of people use to do, and you overlap the lines, but I'm not scribbling. There's a difference, okay? And the difference is intention. What I'm intentionally trying to create. I'm not just trying to get it colored in as quickly as possible. Art is not a speed event. It is a slow and steady type of event. Another texture that I use a lot is more of kind of a wandering star. If you want it to be a little sharper, a little edgier. Okay. But there are 1,000 different things that you can invent. Inventing a texture just means that you're using some repeated form you're doing a cable knit sweater and you need it to look like a knitted sweater. You observe the object and you look at the patterns that you see and you figure out what lines you know or can create that can represent that. It's a sweater, okay? Or it could be a tire if it was a different color and done differently. You know, it's a matter of creativity and, again, observing, experimenting with how you can recreate it, and then giving it your style and putting it in a picture that kind of has a theme. Okay, so a couple of patterns I wanted to share with you. Now that we've done the invented and the scumbling. Invented and scumbling kind of coincide. Sometimes even just little shapes, a bunch of little circles put together. It could be tree limb, it could be hair, it could be gravel. Yeah, who knows? Okay, another pattern I wanted to share is a scale pattern. When you create a scale pattern, it's very similar to your brick pattern. You're going to try to consistently create a scale, a scallop, And then you're going to go from the center of one to the center of another. And this can be shingles, it can be a dragon, it can be a goldfish, it can be armor on a knight's uniform, a million different things. Be aware that when you're working with this, you're working with depth. So if my scales are one row on top of another, you're going to have your value scale here that comes in handy. This could be the feathers on a bird. Could be any million numbers of things. If you give it that little bit of depth by shading one thing on top of the other, casting a shadow, then it creates that illusion of form and reality that we tend to want at this stage in our drawing. If this were a feather, I might add some hatching lines on here. As observing a feather, you would see a central line and then small feathers going the other direction. Okay. If you were drawing a bird, I'm going to flip to some examples here. You might use a variety of different lengths of a scallop. Different colors of shading. The flight feathers are longer, more science for you. Different textures that you can add. Here I've got a little bit of a waterfall happening. So I've got my contour lines in my water, shading under the edges of my rock, a change in angle, a breaking point, some scumbling lines to symbolize foaminess where the water hits at the bottom of the drop, scumbling here for rocks along the shoreline. There's a million things you can draw. I don't have time to draw them all in a video, but I don't want to leave much out either. There's a million different ways that you can use all of this. You have your cylinder with your tree limb, pieces coming off of it. It's all the details. It's just the creativity. I wouldn't have to put that limb there. It would be easier to make the log if it didn't have that little limb there, but there are usually limbs off of logs. I did the little spiral on the end to represent the rings of the tree. I have my contour lines coming up, scumbling and shading with the fire. Many different ways to do that one. This one has a hollow log with a jagged edge, so it's an older piece of wood. Actually has some hot coals underneath it, some reds and oranges before I get into my scumbling out here for the ashes. It's even got some smoke coming from it, a little scumbling up there. Different lengths of hatching lines, shading lines. These are just uneven shading. A little bit of scum on the puddle here. Piles of leaves. What else do I have that I can show you? It's close by here. This one is a good one. So when you're looking at drawing your tree, oh, it's laminated, so it's not going to show well. Let me see if I have another one that's got the leaves done. Yes, I do. Okay. So with your treetop, you have, let me just show you how to do it. Don't mind the Sharpie coming through there. You have your shapes, okay? I'm just going to do a small section of the tree, not the whole tree. Establish some rounded shapes here. I'm going to do some coloring and get a local color back in the background here. Coloring it in. Not scribbling, being nice and neat about it. Then I'm going to use an invented texture that I like to use for my trees, which is kind of a C shape. I've got a darker value of green here to go over the top. I'm just going to repeat this C shape, going different directions. It's a good invented texture. You can also do scumbling for a treetop. Scumbling works just fine. Okay, I'm going to add that with a darker green. And then I'm going to even add a little bit of shading underneath because the shady part of the tree is oftentimes underneath here. And that can create some depth if I have some shadows and then some light and then some shadows and then some light. Okay. If you wanted to do a fall tree, you could do an orange area. Push a little bit harder, do some of my C shape in there. I always think of fall leaves as being a little harsher and kind of crunchier and everything, so you could even do a little bit of jagged. More of that rough star shape. Okay, go outside of my edge here, kind of got my green showing. You would have some green. Probably have some green in there still. Just remember your green and your orange are going to kind of interact, and your red are going to interact. Make some brown colors, so that'll be nice. There we go. Now we got a tree. All right, guys. That is all the textures I can think of right now. There's millions more out there. And you always come up with wonderful ideas for your pictures. I've had all kinds of fabulous artwork done over the years with your texture drawings. So hopefully this will help you to improve your ability to draw realistically. And again, these are suggestions for styles. You may experiment and develop your own. And happy drawing.